Secure connection means a connection that is encrypted by one or more security protocols and to ensure the security of data flowing between two or more nodes. So when a connection is not encrypted, then it can be listened by anyone who is having knowledge to how to do it. So even the phone threats by malicious software and rogue are unexpected events. So secure connection means having such a connection that is encrypted so that no one can intercept the signals that are being transmitted from one phone or one node to another node. So anyone who wants to get the information from a non-secured connection can do, since they can easily go through it. So the computer network, when network in a computer network, one system is talking to another system, so these people, they can easily intercept the signals to get the information like login ID, password and other private information. The secure connections, as they are supposed to be, protect the data from being transferred from one computer to another. So it prevents the third parties from getting hold of the confidential data, and it also asks for the validation to validate the identification of the person who wishes to access and exchange the data, and it must protect information from being viewed or altered by unknown parties. There are many methods to be able to establish a secure connection, but all of them, almost all of them, they involve the data encryption. So data encryption is a method which hides information from unauthorized parties. Method usually needs an appropriate program that is to be installed on computer involved in the connection that will encrypt and decrypt the information. So among all these are basic security protocols embedded in main communication like TCP/IP or HTTPS, POP3. Even the firewall and antivirus software can also be used for having the secure connections. Now, HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It is a variant of HTTP in which there is an added layer of security on the data in transmit through the secure socket layer or SSL. So HTTPS enables the encrypted communication and secure connection between a remote computer and a privately web server. HTTPS is primarily designed to provide enhanced security layer over the unsecured HTTP protocol. So earlier the protocol that was used in websites was HTTP. Now HTTPS is being used to provide the enhanced security layer. The HTTPS, it encrypts every data packet in transition using the SSL or TLS encryption techniques to avoid intermediary hackers and attackers so that they cannot gain the information from the computer system. So HTTPS is configured and supported by the default in most of the web browsers and initiates a secure connection automatically if the accessed web server requests secure connection. And HTTPS, it also works in collaboration with the certificate authorities that evaluate the security certificate of accessed website. There is one more method of having the secured or encrypted transmission. It is Secure File Transfer Protocol. Secure File Transfer Protocol is a secured version of FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol, and it facilitates data access and data transfer over SSH, that is Secured Shell Data Stream, and it is a part of SSH protocol. So it is also known as SSH File Transfer Protocol. So it is one more method of having secure transmission. Now next term is eavesdropping, which is the act of secretly listening to the private conversation or communication of others without their consent. So this practice was widely regarded as unethical, and in many jurisdictions it is considered to be illegal. The techniques of the eavesdropping include the telephone lines, that is intercepting signals from the telephone lines or cellular networks or through the mails and other methods of private instant messaging. Even the VoIP communication software is also vulnerable to dropping via infections such as Trojans. So, Trojans are those programs that seem to be useful but they contain insecure codes. So, the network eavesdropping is a network layer attack that focuses on capturing small packets when they are being transferred from one computer to another and reading the data that is stored in those packets and getting the information. So all these things they are done by the people who are into it. So this type of network attack is generally one of the most effective as a lack of encryption services are used. So very often the user of the system does not know how to secure or how to get the data encrypted. So these attackers they easily get their data with the help of eavesdropping. It is also linked to the collection of metadata. Those who perform this type of attack they are generally black hat attackers or hackers. And when the government agencies such as the National Security Agency or NSA has also been connected. Now the next term is phishing. Phishing is a cyber crime in which a target or targets are connected by email, telephone or text message by someone posing as legitimate institution to lure individuals into providing the sensitive data such as personally identifiable information or banking details or credit card details and password and so on. So it is an attack, a cyber attack that uses disguised email as weapon. And the goal of such attack is to trick the email recipient into believing that the message they want to or they need a request from their bank or instance or a note from somewhere in their company and to click a link or download an attachment. What really distinguishes phishing is the form of the message. Just like the attackers they behave as trusted entity of some kind and often a real person or a company the victim might do the business with. So it is the oldest type of cyber attack dating back to 1990s and still it is the most widely spread cyber attack with phishing messages and techniques becoming increasingly sophisticated. So now they are also uh, got the advanced techniques of phishing. So how is phishing carried out? First, the legitimate website, the original website is cloned. That is, a duplicate website is created. The login page is changed to the point to a credential stealing script. That is the most risky point where the user enters login details. Exactly same login form is copied, then the modified files they are bundled into zip file to make a phishing kit. So all the details that a user enters it is then copied internally to a zip file and the publishing upload to the hacker's website instead of the website that the user is supposing to. The emails then they are sent with the link point to the new spoofed websites. In this way the phishing attack is carried out. Next is to have the identity verification. So in order to prevent these attacks, one should go for the identity. The website they normally go for the identity verifications. So the identity verification basically means to ensure that the identity data is associated with the particular individual, like matching date of birth, name. So there are many companies who are providing the identity verification services. So the companies who are into the businesses they hire the services. So the identity verification service is used by those businesses to ensure that users or the customers they provide the information that is associated with the identity of the real person. Now the service may verify the authenticity of physical identity documentation like the driver license or the passport or any nationality issued identity card through documentary verification. It also involves the verification of identity information against the independent and authoritative services such as credit bureau or proprietary government data. Now these services, they are being used both by online and in person to verify the identities of the person who want those services. The services that are used in the financial service industry, the e-commerce platform, the social networking sites, internet forums, they all use these services. Now the industries that use identity verification services, they are generally the financial services, the digital businesses, the travel and leisure, sharing economic business, telecom, and etc. Now these services, they are employed before establishing bank accounts and other financial services in many jurisdictions. If bank fails to meet the diligence standard for certain directives, they risk having to deal with the server or severe fines for non-compliance.